Good morning. Has anyone ever here had a bad day? Now, how did having a bad day make you feel? Has anybody ever made a mistake? And how did making a mistake make you feel? Well, today we're going to learn about a little boy who had the worst day ever. Can you tell me where the boy is at on the cover? What do you think he might be feeling? How can you tell? Have any of you felt similar? Look at this word. The word on the paper is optimistic. Optimistic. What does this word mean? The word optimistic means to expect a favorable outcome. Look at this word. The word on the paper is pessimistic. What does this word mean? The word pessimistic means to take the gloomiest possible view. Do you think the boy on the cover is optimistic or pessimistic? What clues let you know? The word on this paper is sympathetic. What does this word mean? The word sympathetic means to be able to share with another's feelings. Now I want you to think about these three words as I read the book. Alexander and the Terrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. I went to sleep with gum in my mouth, and now there's gum in my hair, and when I get out of bed this morning, I tripped on the skateboard, and by mistake, I dropped my sweater in the sink while the water was running, and I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At breakfast, Anthony found a Corvette Stingray car kit in his breakfast cereal box, and Nick found a Junior Undercover Agent code ring in his breakfast cereal box. But in my breakfast cereal box, all I found was breakfast cereal. I think I'll move to Australia. In the carpool, Miss Gibson let Becky have a seat by the window. Audrey and Elliot got seats by the window too. I said I was being scrunched. I said I was being smushed. I said if I don't get a seat by the window, I'm going to be car sick. No one even answered. I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. At school, Miss Dickens liked Paul's picture of the sailboat better than my picture of the Invisible Castle. At singing time, she said, I sang too loud. At counting time, she said, I forgot number 16. Who needs 16? I could tell it was going to be a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. I could tell because Paul said I wasn't his best friend anymore. He said that Philip Parker was his best friend and that Albert Mayo was his next best friend and that I was only his third best friend. I hope you sit on a tack, I said to Paul. I hope the next time you get a double-decker strawberry ice cream cone, the ice cream part falls off the cone part and lands in Australia. There were 2 cupcakes in Philip Parker's lunch bag, and Albert got a Hershey roll with almonds, and Paul's mother gave him a piece of jelly roll that had little coconut sprinkles on top. Guess his mother forgot to put in dessert. It was a horrible, terrible, no good, very bad day. That wasn't it, because after school my mom took us all to the dentist, and Dr. Fields found a cavity just in me. Come back next week and I'll fix it, said Dr. Fields. Next week, I said, I'm going to Australia. On the way downstairs to the elevator door closed on my foot, and while we were waiting for my mom to get to the car, Anthony made me fall where it was muddy, and then when I started crying because of the mud, Nick said I was a big crybaby. And while I was punching Nick for saying crybaby, my mom came back with a car and scolded me for being muddy and fighting. I had a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day, I told everybody. No one even answered. So then we went to the shoe store to buy some sneakers. Anthony chose white ones with blue stripes. Nick chose ones with white stripes. I chose blue ones with red stripes, but then the shoe man said we're all sold out. They made me buy plain old white ones, but they can't make me wear them. When we picked up my dad at his office, he said I couldn't play with his copying machine, but I forgot. He also said to watch out for the books on his desk, and I was careful, I was careful as could be, except for my elbow. He also said, don't fool around with this phone, but I think I called Australia. My dad said, please don't come pick him up anymore. It was a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. There were lima beans for dinner, and I hate limas. There was kissing on TV, and I hated kissing. My bath was too hot, I got soap in my eyes, my marble went down the drain, and I had to wear my railroad train pajamas. I hate my railroad train pajamas. When I went to bed, Nick took back the pillow he said I could keep, and the Mickey Mouse nightlight burned out, and I bit my tongue. The cat wants to sleep with Anthony, not with me. It's been a terrible, horrible, no good, very bad day. My mom said some days are like that. Even in Australia. Did anyone in the story feel sympathy for Alexander? How could they have shown sympathy to him? How could Alexander have changed his viewpoint of his day? What were some optimistic things that happened in the story? For example, Alexander only had one cavity. He could have had a bunch. I'm going to write the words that we talked about today on the board, as well as the definitions. Please copy them into your vocabulary notebooks. Underneath each definition, please write a 3 to 5 sentence paragraph describing the situation that explains each word. And you can use examples from the book. Okay? let's review some of the things we learned from the story. Okay? What does optimistic mean? Is it always easy to be optimistic? What does pessimistic mean? Is it easy to be pessimistic? What does sympathetic mean? How can being more sympathetic change your viewpoint of another person's situation? Alright, remember that we're going to have a vocab test Friday on all the terms that we have this week. Okay? Right now I want you to take out a piece of paper and you're going to write me an exit slip. Okay? I want you to tell me about a situation where it looked bad, and explain how, if you had an optimistic view, it might change your viewpoint about that situation.